All right. The Renn in his natural habitat. So that, yeah, my head is going to look obscenely large, and I can't really get behind. Oh boy, there I go.
You're going to be rolling.
I'm going to be, yeah. The okay. So anyway, this isn't going to work, Renn.
You know, you're drifting. You're drifting.
Yeah. Oh man.
I'll take it.
Get on the screen.
But yeah, let's go sit over here.
You do it like a newscast.
I've got Mongoloid by Devo stuck in my head. Alright. He was a mongoloid, his friends were unaware. Alright, so here we're, it's Warhammer 40k 6th edition at long last, and this one's different. This one is like, wow, and by the way, I think it's going to be, like, it's so complex, it's so rich, it's got, you know, so, like, it's going to be knockdown, drag-out fights.
Yeah.
So the question on everyone's mind is this the age of the Uber unit back to Hero Hammer?
The Death Stars.
The unstoppable Death Star unit.
I would say yes and no. I actually think a lot of infantry is going to, in the end, play out more. I think for right now, though, I think it does seem a little bit more Hero Hammer.
Okay, so let's identify the threats, the big threats.
Character units.
Right. So let's talk about character units then. So you've got Thunderwolf Cavalry are actually, as far as I can tell, they're good. They're worth their points, but they are not characters.
Yeah, they're not as good as, like, say, a Warlock unit or a Paladin squad or
Okay,
a Knob
thank
squad.
you. Now he's naming them all off. Okay, great. Now what?
The ones I
What
can think
else?
of off the top of my head, like Warbiker Knobs would be crazy. Like they got a big boost.
Right. So my question is, what is the most durable of all of those types of units? The hardest one to kill.
Probably the Warlock squad once you put in, because they get
The
like,
Archon
the
with
reroll
Shadow
save.
Field.
Yeah.
Right.
Thing.
That
It's
whole
different.
thing.
Yeah.
So, and that was, it's basically a Seer Council with a couple of Dark Eldar Archons in there, with Shadow Fields.
And you throw
The problem is it's on foot.
Yeah.
And they're expensive. They're expensive. You're talking like 400 to 800 points in a single unit.
Yeah, and if somebody has something like the Grey Knight's Storm Raven gunship missiles that do large blast template, and it's like because the whole point of that squad is you basically like re-roll saves, but if somebody hits you with that missile, you don't get a save because it's Perils of Warp, and you don't get any save against Perils of Warp anymore.
And by the way, my opinion is this isn't the age of the Uber unit. It's once people figure it out, like I'm an expert. I haven't figured out one single thing the last 15 years of playing these games. I think it's going to be the age of the troops unit. But the strong lists
I agree.
are going to be the ones with tons of troops, because you're going to have 12 troops choices now. That's what you're going to have.
I actually think that Tyrannid's got a tremendous boost because of that.
Oh,
because
yeah.
you can just field a ridiculous amount of guys, and as long as you're smart and keep your synapse alive, they're all fearless. You have to kill them down to the man to get rid of those units.
Now that is a good point.
You have
That
to
is a
kill
good point.
every single con.
30 termagants.
Yeah.
So what you do is you say, okay, every single one of your attacks is going to hit, wound, and kill a guy.
Yep.
Okay, so you take your Uber unit, maybe 6 guys in it, each with 3 attacks. That's 18. Well, you're going to miss some. So
It's
now
gonna
you're
take
tied
you
up.
3 turns to
So
kill it.
you've got to think rock, paper, scissors. Like the balance of the game. How does this all come around to make some kind of sense? And to me, I want to play a game. I read a list online where it was 10 Necron Knight scythes, each with 5 Necron warriors in it. So, and each of those comes out to about 175 points. So 1750 for that. And then you put icing on it, but you have 10 flyers flying around with twin-linked Tesla destructors, which is 4 dice, strength 7, 6s give you 2 additional hits.
Yeah.
And they're flyers. And then at the very last turn, you drop your Necron warriors onto the objectives. So anyway, objectives, that's how you win the game. You got to take the objectives are worth 3 points now. So, you know, if you take one objective more than your opponent, you've pretty much won the game. Assuming other things are
there's huge into that. Because I think you'll still see transports. You won't see them as much because.
Oh, this whole thing. Okay. By the way, on my YouTube feed, I found an article. I think it was on DACA. Where a guy actually made a program to calculate the survivability or killability of tanks. And the answer is not necessarily.
Yeah. I mean, some people think that they're just like that they lost a lot, but I think
they gotta take everything into account. So now, if you're down 2 hull points, guess what? You weren't stunned, shaken, immobilized, and you got all your weapons still. So there's that, and also it's easier to give vehicles cover. And I think that's a really big deal too. That's huge. So,
and also
anyway.
on top of that, well, it's really nice because, like you were saying with the whole point thing, is you have to penetrate those tanks, and I actually think you're going to see less melted guns because of that. And then, I mean, that in itself, just the natural flow of everything, you'll see a little bit less melted guns, which means your tanks will actually be about the same survivability, I think.
Why is that again? I was checking a text. How rude is that? Okay, so let's share with the class. Here are my texts. From Triple A1 Wife, dinner will be there in 30 minutes. She's bringing me dinner. Isn't that awesome? My wife is amazingly fantastic. Okay, and from Thomas, he will be doing a bat rep tomorrow at noon. Probably Orcs versus Space Wolves.
Oh, that'll be a good one.
Orcs versus Space Wolves, probably 2.5 with Gene. Got it. I thought he was going to say Gene Stealer allies. Anyway.
No, Tyranids can't ally.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm eager for I'm excited. I am through the moon. I've got some Tyranids ready to go upstairs. I actually pulled them off of the website. And I've got, but now I'm thinking, no, I'm not going to do those. Oh, I'm so conflicted. We've got the lab experiment Tyranids over here too. So,
yeah.
And by the way, that army has 40 Gene Stealers, 4 Broodlords, all converted in it.
Broodlords are awesome now.
Yeah. Okay, so what does it do? Go ahead.
Okay, so here's a little thing that I noticed since we're on the talk of characters anyways. So every character, an independent character, has what is called precision shot. Now,
oh, and Renn will not shut up about the precision shot.
It's huge.
Here, come on over, Devin.
It's huge. So
just don't get in the camera shot. I want to see the thing. Okay, so you want me to? Yeah, don't get in the thing. There you go. Okay, perfect. Hey, thanks a lot. That's great. This arc just rolling off. Look at this. So we have. I've broken precedent, and I've allowed a young person to get some training here, and he's real good. Kid's got talent. So, yep. Anyway, please continue.
So, all characters and independent characters, well, a lot of things are characters, like knobs can do this, for example. But they have what's called a precision shot, which when you're doing the hit phase, if you roll a 6, you can allocate that wound wherever you want in the unit as long as it's within range. If you notice, it doesn't say anything about line of sight.
Okay.
It's in range of the gun.
Okay.
So if somebody's trying to hide
So they can shoot
character
around
behind
a
a building.
corner, even if it's
or
not line of sight?
through the building, yes, technically.
Oh,
as far
that
as
doesn't
that
make any sense. All right, anyway.
But the key point to that is it ignores the normal wound allocation.
So unit of knob bikers rolls up.
Yes, non-bikers can do
It has 18 inches, 3 attacks each, right?
Yes.
They're guns.
Yep, right.
Which are called what? DACA guns or
DACA
something?
guns. DACA
Wow, it's all in there. Brrr. So 6 times 3 is 18 shots. They're going to hit with 6 shots. And you say, and out of the 6 shots, half of them are going to be 6s. Because you rolled 5s and 6s. So you got 3 6s out of that 18 dice rolled. And so now you say, I put all 3 of them onto the melt-a-gun guy.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, you can target special character guys. You can hit those mounted guns. You can hit those plasma guns that are going to kill the knobs.
So, but if I said I want to hit your independent character in there, now you can roll Lookout Sir and redirect those.
Yes, they get lookout sir rolls for those precision shots. But the key part of that is you kill their other stuff first and then deal with the character.
Right.
So you get that unit where you get the character standing out in front of everybody, taking all those wounds. Just precision shot him. Kill everything else. Kill his other useless
Hold on a
stuff.
second. So basically, like it or not, this is what it is, and it's a very rich environment for tactics. Not just list building, but how do you position your guy? Because you can actually flank someone. They're putting their guys, because they know that the casualties have to be taken off the front. So they go, oh, I'll put this guy here. Oh, guess what? I'll come around the side and start peeling them off this way. And wow, so maneuverability really got back in the game.
It did, and that's one of my favorite things about the game now.
Hold on, have you played any games of 6th Ed yet?
No.
Oh, it's on. Here, in front of everybody, I hereby challenge Renn to a game of 6th edition 40K.
I accept.
Thank you. Excellent.
2,000 points?
Well, if you're going to do 2,000, you may as well go 2,500.
Yes, that's something I was
Because at
thinking about
2,000, you're
today,
doubling
too.
the Force Sword, but you're still kind of tight on those points.
Well, that's what I noticed today. I was actually just thinking about it a little bit earlier, is that I actually think that it's going to change from 2,000 points to 2,500 or down to 1,500.
Right. You'll have that too. I think on 2,500 though, you should play on an 8-foot board. Because Mason and I were playing on a 6-foot board, and it was a little crowded, wasn't it,
A
Mason?
little bit, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, 8-foot boards for 6,000, says I. Excuse me, 8-foot boards for 2,500. Where did I get 6,000?
I think that's going to be my favorite points level to play, though, because, I mean, if you're going up to 2,000 anyways, you're going to be double Force Sword. And, I mean, you're going to get broken things anyways, so why not play the funner point level game?
Oh, I'm all for it.
I mean, because you get all those little cool extra toys you wouldn't normally get in a 2,000
Think
game. It's
12
just fun.
troops choices.
It's just fun, you know?
I'm predicting that will be, I'm sorry, I kind of talked over you there.
Oh, no, you're good.
I'm thinking, when you're thinking of lists for this edition, think 10 to 12 troops choices. I really think that's the way to go. Because in all missions except one, it's to your advantage to have tons of guys, tons of units. And so I really think there's something to it. Okay, so what's disgusting with lots of troops? Let's go through the armies. Let's do Imperials first. So Space Marines, good as tac squads, right?
Yeah. And,
Anything with rapid fire just got better. Go ahead.
Yeah, I would say tac squads.
Imperial Guard, they never had that problem. Like,
No,
you're not
'cause
going to take 12 platoons,
you
each with 200 guys.
You have 12 squads of veterans, so.
Yeah, that's true. But what I found is you really didn't need that to begin with. So there's that. But the veterans can come in Valkyries or Vendettas. No, just Valkyries. Can
they're
veterans
actually-
have Vendettas?
They can, yes. I think they're
Yeah.
dangerous.
Are they?
Yeah, I
Flyers?
Well, because
Because flyers are kind of like the rage now.
well, if you
The
have,
rage, 10 days in.
if you
Go
have
ahead.
guys in a flyer though, and it crashes, they'll take a strength 10 AP1 hit. With a, wow,
Yeah,
that's
that is
crazy.
true.
That's gonna hurt.
Oh, that's why the Necron Night Scythe.
yes, because they're not
list
in
is
the
awesome.
transport. Because they're just
That's
like,
right.
oh, I
So
just
transport
show
blows
out.
up, they just go into reserve.
Yep.
So kablam to that. Okay, now this is a bit of a change of topic, but I want to point something out. Okay, tell me the stat line of a Space Marine.
Movement.
Movement's normal. Movement's
No, it's
normal.
weapon skill 4,
Okay,
ballistic skill 4, strength 4, toughness 4,
right,
1 wound, initiative 4, 1 attack.
right. What's their leadership?
8.
Okay, armor save.
3.
Okay, is a 3-up. Now, a Necron Death Mark,
Which
Or-
are super good now.
yeah, they are weapon skill 4, ballistic skill 4, strength 4, toughness 4, wounds 1, initiative 2, so down to initiative, attacks 1, leadership 10, up to leadership, save 3+. They cost 19 points, by
Death
the way.
marks are 3+ armor?
Yeah, they do.
Really?
Yeah,
I
they
never
have
noticed
3
that.
plus armor. And so they cost 3 points more than a Space Marine. So you don't get They Shall Know No Fear, right?
I don't think you can.
Observe. But here's what they get. They get a Synaptic Disintegrator, a 24-inch rapid-fire sniper weapon with AP5, same as a bolter. Oh, but it's a sniper rifle.
And it gets precision shot because it's a sniper rifle. Yeah.
Okay, and they also get Deep Strike, Reanimation Protocols, Ethereal Interception. That means when your opponent deep strikes, I think I'm going to have my Death Marks also deep strike. I don't know why that's good.
Well, it's good because it can mess with their tactics. I mean,
Right,
'cause
it's
you don't
disturbing,
have to do
right?
it. You don't have to do it.
So, and then they have Hunters from Hyperspace, where they choose a unit, and whenever the Death Mark shoots at or strikes blows against a unit marked, will score a wound on a 2+.
Yep. It's
Anyway, so Death Marks
Well,
are
and
awesome. I'm gonna have
and
tons
you can
of them.
actually fit those in really good now because you have the expanded force orb chart. You know,
Right.
You're like, oh, I'm not wasting an elite choice on them, even though I probably would now because I think they're so awesome. But
Yeah.
you actually have the elite slots to use them now, which is really nice because I would actually probably take Death Marks and
Trap
Stalkers
Stalker.
and throw in C-Tan Shorter too, because the C-Tan Shorts are awesome.
Yeah, they have where all terrain is difficult terrain for your opponent.
And yeah,
Open
and then,
terrain is difficult.
Yeah, and then difficult terrain turns into dangerous.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. So anyway, yeah, hold on. Where is it? Writhing Worldscape. All difficult terrain is also dangerous. If the terrain is already dangerous, the dangerous terrain test fail on 1 or 2. Oh, so I have it wrong. It's the Cryptek Tremor Stave. Tremor Stave makes open ground into difficult ground.
Oh yeah, you just combine those and then because it's like a large blast. If you hit a unit, then they
Yeah,
treat.
but you only have to hit them with it.
Oh yeah, you don't
That's
have to
it.
wound anybody.
Anyway, so let's stop talking about Necrons. By the way, I love Necrons. They're incredibly cool. We've got a ton of Necron stuff coming out on the web store next week. I'll be trickling it on. I put up two monoliths today. Monoliths still good.
Oh, I think they're great.
Yeah.
Well, it's
And
because
here's why. You take the monolith, you sit it by objectives in the back. If your opponent tries to take those objectives, you eternity gate them and suck them into nothingness.
Or you deep strike it next to that super Death Star unit and suck them all in because they don't get a save.
Oh, that's true. You could shoot that.
Yeah, you just make them go away.
Oh, that's awesome.
And
Oh, by the
there's-
way, here's what we're talking about. We're talking about Portal of Exile.
I think
Here it is.
I think the
So what you
Cryptex
do,
would make a thing where you don't.
it's a
lose.
shooting attack. All enemy models, not units, that are within D6 inches of the monolith's portal and have line of sight to it. So you have to be close. You have to be really close. It must immediately pass a strength test or be removed as a casualty with no saves of any kind allowed. Roll separately for each individual model. It's not the end-all be-all, you know.
It's still
So
a
if
good
yeah.
trick in your bag.
Well, and because you'd have to deep strike, you'd have to roll a hit.
Well, I think Cryptex have a thing where you can just deep strike in a spot. You know, like you don't
No,
scatter.
I don't think they do.
Or is it the C10 shard? Something has it because I was looking
Does
at
it?
that combo.
Okay, I can't figure. Maybe you guys can tell us what it is. Okay, so, but the big thing with the monolith is dimensional corridor. They can suck a unit from somewhere else, a troop's choice, and drop it right in front. And so that's what I've been doing. I park my monolith next to an objective. So now, get close to that objective at your own peril. I'm kind of claiming it. Deal with this. And now I can take, at the end of the game, I can take a unit anywhere on the board, and boom, they're right there.
Yeah, so you don't have to sit on the objective the whole time. You can actually go around, do stuff, and then that later turn just go whoop.
And since they disembark, they can go further now. Because disembark is you put it, and then they move up to 6 inches. Okay, anyway, so let's keep talking about the thing. First off, disembarking from a vehicle, I find that very interesting because they wrote it very specifically. You don't move 6 inches. You don't disembark and then move. You disembark and you can go within 6 inches. So there's like a bubble, and you just kind of place your guys inside that bubble.
Yeah, which makes it a little bit better because, I mean, before you could get like 8 inches out, it's kind of like the within 6 now.
Yeah, so
simplified
within
it,
6 means a Terminator
6
gets a little more distance because his base is bigger.
Well, they used to,
Right.
but they balanced it now.
It's just, it's more precise. It's
Yeah.
like, to get out of an assault vehicle, there's a maximum. You can move at 6, you can get out and be up to 6 inches away, and then you can charge your 2d6 inches. And that's all the farther you can go.
Yeah, I mean,
Is that right? Yeah, that is right. God, that's huge.
Yeah,
The threat range is actually 19 inches on average.
Well, and that's not to mention how fast it moves too. Tank can move like 12, get out 6, and assault 2d6. That's more like 24. Efficient maybe 21.
What? No. The threat range for an open-topped vehicle or an assault vehicle?
Yeah, they can move 12.
No. You can't. You can only move 6 and disembark.
Oh, they changed that.
Yeah, you can't move
Okay.
12 and disembark.
Okay,
But your thing is longer. So it used to be, what was it? The thing could move, whatever, it could move 12. Then the Terminators would disembark. They'd get another 4 inches off of that at least, right?
Well, you move 12, then you'd get 8.
Yeah,
and
they'd get 20.
6.
So it actually is actually a little bit less on average now. So is it the age of shooting? Not so sure. I think night fighting. See, you can't discount everything. Like to understand this edition, you have to look at everything.
There's a lot of
And
factors
night fighting is in every single mission. All of them have night fighting is huge now. So basically in night fighting, up to 12 inches is normal. Up to 24 inches, you get +1 to your cover save. Big deal. 24 to 36, you get +2 to your cover save. That's enormous. And then 36 inches, you can't shoot at all.
Yeah, it's not too hard to get actually like a 2+ cover save now. I mean, they also added in fortifications, which those are huge too.
And those give a 3-up cover save.
Yeah. And then, I mean, with a night fight in one of those, you're gonna have a 2+ cover save.
Just wait until people actually start making their fortifications.
Oh,
But they're expensive. Even like a Bastion, that with a gun on top is like 110 points.
And they can get blown up.
Can they? Are they like a vehicle? Do you treat them like a vehicle, like they're cruise stun
The
and all
Aegis
that?
defense lines, I don't think you do. The landing pad, I don't think you do. With the bunkers and the Fortress of Redemption, those are treated like buildings, I should say, because it actually has its own shard.
Yeah, there's a huge amount of rules for it. Battlements is like a page and a half. Oh, building damage table. Breach, tremor, partial collapse, structural collapse. Okay, cool.
Which if you have like a AP1 weapon, I believe it adds 2 to the chart.
Okay.
So like meltaguns and that kind of stuff are really, really good at killing buildings.
Huh. When shooting at a building, roll to hit for armor penetration normally. If a glancing hit is scored, one model inside the building suffers a wound which ignores cover. Special rule. If the building suffers a penetrating hit, one model suffers a wound as for a glancing hit. Further, roll on the building damage table. Ah! Isn't that cool?
Which, the buildings can blow up like vehicles do. If you roll a 6.
Detonation!
Shot.
46, strength 6, AP nothing, hits with ignores cover, special rule. Survivors must then immediately disembark from the building as per result 6. The building can no longer be occupied and is hereby treated as impassable terrain.
And then
That's so cool.
blows up strength 4 D6.
I'm just thinking about the, wow. I am thinking about the modeling possibilities. Like, what does a demonic bunker look like? What is a Necron bunker? By the way, I'm making a Necron fortification, and I'm dropping that pylon on top as my gun.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah, it'll be
That's
fun.
awesome.
It'll still have the same shots as the regular thing that it comes with, but it'll look way cooler.
And I like the I like the fortification rules just for the modeling possibilities, and I think they're really good. I mean, even the one that's like 225 points, I think it counts as like multiple buildings. I haven't looked into that too much, but from what I just glanced at it, it looks good. Oh yeah, challenges are really cool too. That's another new thing that's in the game too. Have you looked at those at all?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Declaring
Go
a
ahead.
challenge. So, when you go into close combat, you can have one of your characters, which is, you can either do it with sergeants or like an Imperial Guard sergeant can do it. Really anybody that's kind of like an upgrade character, and independent characters. So what happens is you go into a combat and then you can declare a challenge. The person who charges gets to do it first, or not charge, the person whose turn it is gets to declare it first. And then if they don't
It's
do
kind of
it
like
first,
Warhammer Fantasy.
yeah, it's pretty much identical.
So it's like, I don't challenge. Well, I do.
Yeah, pretty much. And
Go ahead.
you can accept with one character.
Right.
And then those two characters will fight combat.
Individually.
Yeah, individually.
So let's say I run up with my Hive Tyrant against your unit of Sanguinary Guard with Mephiston. Haha, why did I do that? Okay, so now I challenge. So if Mephiston, the only person that can take the challenge, let's say,
Yeah,
for all I know, Sanguinary Guard are characters.
they're not.
Okay, so what happens if he refuses the challenge?
If Mephiston, in that case, were to refuse the challenge, he would actually kind of like leave the combat. He doesn't move, but he doesn't get to attack.
He's out.
Yeah, he's
Doesn't
just
get to
he's not
attack.
going to do
Can he
anything.
be attacked?
Yeah.
Still? Can other guys?
Yeah, he can still be
Can he
attacked.
still get wounds?
So, like-
okay. It's because there's no challenge. He's not removed in a challenge because he refuses. He just doesn't do anything.
Yeah, but I mean, you
Okay.
do lose. You kind of lose something against something that. I mean, Mephiston didn't lose his attacks, which I don't know why he would. But those Sanguinary Guard would have something to attack if you did, because if Mephiston accepts
By the way,
that challenge,
I don't care for this rule very much in 40K. But anyway,
but
see, that's. Can I just point something out? Who cares what I think? This is what it is, folks. So you gotta either start looking up Infinity, or what's other good sci-fi games? Because we've kind of picked our winners right now. And then we picked some games where we're like, hey, these might be good, like Dust Warfare.
Oh yeah, that's
So anyway.
seems like a good one.
Anyway, I'm sorry. So what if Mephiston accepts the challenge?
So if Mephiston
So the other
accepts
5
the
guys are
challenge,
out.
Yeah, they can't do anything.
But they're cheering the other guy on.
Which for every 5 guys, I believe it is, you
Uh-huh.
can cheer, and then the They get 1 reroll.
So here's my question. I charge in my Hive Tyrant, and now I charge in my 30 Ormagons. Okay? Now, the Ormagons aren't joined to the same unit as the Hive Tyrant.
No.
They're not. So can they cheer him on?
No. They have to fight the other guys.
So it's only from the unit to which the character's attached.
Yes.
Get the cheering on.
Yes, as far as I know.
Well, why don't we find out?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, what is it? It's right here.
No, this is
Oh, no, that's not
damage.
it. Ah,
I
I'm
got
on the wrong page. Yeah, I was reading this the other night. So anyway, so now the Hive Tyrant, so the other guys, all those 5 Sanguinary Guard can do is give Mephiston 1 reroll per 5 guys. And that's where it's a little uneven. Horde armies kind of got a little bit of boost from that, because the 5 Sanguinary Guard cost as much as 30 Orc Boys, basically. But the 30 Orc Boys gave 6 rerolls. Yeah, there it is. Get in, boss. Moral support.
Oh yeah, no, it does work that way.
Yeah, it's other units
Yeah,
in
it's
the
other
combat.
units in the combat.
So if I had, if I may, if I had my Hive Tyrant runs up, and then I have 30 Ormagons and 30 Ormagons run in, I don't know why I would have that. I would get 12 rerolls in that combat.
Yes, you would get
So that's
12
a reroll to hit,
or
to
wound.
wound, or
And or saving throws.
throws.
Saving throws, that's huge.
So there's that whole challenge business. But I have a feeling the challenges is what is going to mitigate these Uber units.
Oh yeah, that's one of the things
That you're going to run in and you're going to pull out, you know, your guy versus his. But see, that's just it. It's going to be Uber on Uber. Like Mason and I had our. I talked about this in my Necron ramble, and you know, Mason almost cried basically. It was really pathetic.
Close.
He cried later.
He cried tears of blood and rage when I Tesseract Labyrinth all his Terminators and Mind Shackle Scary
That's pretty gnarly.
Well, and that's the Necron Uber unit. Here it is. Are you ready?
Yeah, go.
Okay, Necron Overlord with Sempiternal Weave, 2+ save, 3+ invulnerable from Phase Shifter.
Yeah.
Okay, and he has Mind Shackled Scarabs,
Which are
and a
awesome.
Tesseract Labyrinth. Okay, now 5 Lords, exact same loadout. By the way, those are 95 points each for those. Okay, but they don't have Phase Shifters. So anything that's going to get through that 2-up armor save, which isn't much nowadays in close combat, you put it on the Lord.
Yeah, you look out, sir, and put it on.
Now you sprinkle in 2 or 3 Cryptex with Chronometrons for rerolls. So big stuff, you put it on the Lord, reroll it if you fail. The other stuff goes on the Sempiternal Weave, 2-up save for that. And you now have 6 Tesseract Labyrinths in that thing, which is roll equal to or under your wounds, or you're gone. No save, you're just removed from play.
Right. Well, yeah.
You've been erased from existence. Your relatives don't even remember you.
See,
Okay,
and that's
anyway.
like, you just...
But the
you-
problem
you
is that's
have-
700 points.
That is pretty expensive. And it could take one
Template weapon?
template weapon, or
Right.
if you ran up to something else, they could do that.
Yeah. So,
Like-
and that's my point.
like-
deal with the thing that deals with that.
Like Dark Eldar, they have some of the nastiest weapons in the game. Like, I think it's called Shatter Sharp, which is that template weapon that's... I can't remember exactly what it does, but it ignores saves like that and removes people too.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Implosion missiles.
Oh, implosion
Don't leave
missiles.
home without them.
Yeah.
Roll under your wounds, but you do get invulnerable saves against that. Against implosion missiles.
When it's Necrons and Dark Eldar both have weapons where you just remove guys
You just
with no
take them
save
out.
possible. And it's like, it's those kind of things that are going to deal with these huge 700-point Death Star units.
Well, and, you know,
'Cause you-
let's not forget about winning the game. I'm interested in, can I deal with the Death Star unit with, let's say you spent 700 points on it. Could I deal with that unit with the 700 points of just troops, just shooting.
Oh, yeah.
Just okay. My Necron warriors unleash 80 shots on you. We should run some tests.
Yeah.
Let's take all the Uber units we can think of, and we'll put them up against guys with rapid fire weapons. And we'll be like, okay, this Uber unit costs 500 points. Let's put it up against 500 points of TAC Marines. And see what happens.
I don't think it'll be too bad. I mean, you won't lose that many guys in that Death Star unit, but that Death Star unit's 700 points, and they can only deal with one unit, essentially, a turn. Right? That's just chuck worthless models at them, and oh, you have your Death Star unit, I don't care.
Right.
You know,
Yeah,
I
you
have
can deal with it
700
with
points
mobility,
cards.
with sacrificing pawns, specialty weapons, a counter unit of similar force and strength.
Well, as I saw,
You know,
and as I saw Thomas deal with Dave's super unit, Thomas just kept shooting him with Thunderfire cannon and made him move in difficult terrain. And Dave moved like, I think like
3 inches a turn.
Yeah, 3
Right.
inches a turn. What are you gonna do?
Right? Yep,
Yeah.
there it is. Yep. That's great that you had that re-rollable shadow field, but you're only moving 3 inches a turn on foot.
And it was the long table edge game too, so I mean it's like,
He just kept backing out.
No, Thomas just sat there the whole same place the whole time.
That's awesome.
It was pretty awesome.
All right, well, thanks a lot, Renn. I really appreciate it. The one good thing I can say about Renn, one of the many good things I can say about Renn is that he's always willing to help out, always eager to lend a hand, and so thank you very much for taking the time. Woo!